There is a people whose home has always been the mountains. For thousands of years, the Hmong lived in the high, misty peaks of southern China, and later, Laos, Vietnam, and Thailand. They planted rice on impossible slopes. They raised chickens and pigs in wooden houses. They spoke a language older than most nations, and they wove into their clothing stories so intricate that every stitch carried meaning. This is a story about that people, about how they came to America, about the traditions they brought with them, and about how, generation by generation, they are shaping a future that honors both who they have always been and who they are becoming. At the center of Hmong life sits an idea called the clan. A clan is like an enormous extended family, tied together by a shared surname passed from father to son. There are 18 main Hmong clans. If you meet another Hmong person whose last name is the same as yours, you are, in some sense, related, even if you have never met. The clan helps you find a job. The clan celebrates your birthdays. The clan mourns your losses. In times of war, when whole villages had to move overnight, it was the clan that carried people through. It was the reason a scattered people never truly became lost. In the 1960s and 70s, war came to Southeast Asia. During the conflict in Vietnam, the United States quietly recruited thousands of Hmong men in Laos to help defend against communist forces. They flew planes. They rescued downed pilots. They guarded roads hidden deep in the jungle. When the war ended and American forces withdrew, the Hmong who had helped were left in a very dangerous position. They had to leave. Whole families walked for days through the mountains. They crossed the wide, fast Mekong River, sometimes on little more than bamboo. And they arrived, tired and hungry, in refugee camps in Thailand. Beginning in 1975, the United States opened its doors to Hmong refugees. Families that had lived on mountain farms suddenly found themselves in Minneapolis winters, in California suburbs, in small apartments in Wisconsin. Nothing was familiar. The food was different. The language was different. Snow was, for many, the strangest thing they had ever touched. But slowly, patiently, they built new lives. They started small businesses. They planted gardens with vegetables brought all the way from home. They named their grandchildren things like No and Chue and Mai, so that old names would keep echoing in a new land. One of the most beautiful traditions the Hmong carried with them is called Pajantaub. It means, literally, flower cloth. For centuries, Hmong women have embroidered the story of their people onto fabric. Every geometric shape has a meaning. A spiral for a snail, symbolizing family. A cross for the 8 directions. Diamonds for protection. Because the Hmong did not have a written language until the 20th century, these stitches carried history. Today, Hmong artists still make Pajantaub in kitchens and studios across America, and every square of cloth, no matter where it is sewn, is still, quietly, a book you can read with your fingers. In traditional Hmong culture, family life follows an old pattern. The father is the head of the household. He represents the family to the clan. He performs ceremonies for the ancestors. The mother runs the daily home. She raises the children. She cooks the herbs. She teaches the songs. Sons stay with the family and, when they marry, bring their wives home. Daughters, when they marry, join their husband's family. It is a structure that once helped mountain villages survive. In America, where families are smaller, a Hmong wedding is not the joining of 2 people. It is the joining of 2 clans. The ceremony is called Yuav Pojnium, which means, in the old language, to welcome a wife. Elders from both sides sit across from each other. They negotiate, they sing, they toast. Gifts are exchanged, sometimes silver, sometimes a symbolic gift called bride wealth that once helped a new couple set up their household. The wedding lasts for days, the whole clan is invited, and by the end, 2 families have become one large, interwoven web of names, cousins, aunts, and in-laws that will last for generations. A Hmong child born in America grows up between 2 worlds. At home, they hear the old language. They eat papaya salad and warm chicken soup with herbs. They light incense for grandparents they have only met in photos. At school, they speak English. They watch cartoons. They learn about elections and biology and pop music. This double life is the daily reality of the 2nd and 3rd generations. Some children feel torn between the 2. Others become expert translators, weaving both worlds into a single richer self. The Hmong American identity, still being written, is the story of that weaving. For every culture that travels across oceans, there is a period of adjustment. Old expectations meet new realities. A daughter who wants to go to college, a son who wants to become a poet instead of a doctor, a wife who wants her own bank account, a husband who wants to help cook dinner. In every household, small conversations happen every day. Some are easy, some are harder. Scholars like Parthor have studied how families hold on to what matters, while gently letting go of what no longer fits. The answer, again and again, is talking, listening, choosing together what to keep. One of the most beautiful things happening in Hmong communities today is the rise of Hmong women. They are earning college degrees at record rates. They are becoming doctors, engineers, artists, and elected officials. Mi Moa, once a refugee, became a Minnesota state senator. Hmong American poets and filmmakers are telling new kinds of stories. And in family homes, daughters are being told, more and more often, that they can do anything a son can do. This is not the end of tradition. It is tradition, growing new leaves. In every Hmong community, one of the most important conversations happens across the kitchen table. On one side sit the elders, who remember the mountains, the war, the walk to Thailand. On the other side sit the young, who were born in America, who dream in English. Sometimes they disagree, sometimes they laugh at each other. But when the meal is over, they are still one family. That conversation, sometimes gentle, sometimes hard, is the real classroom of Hmong American life. It is where tradition is not just preserved, it is where tradition learns. Hmong communities across America build institutions that would have surprised their grandparents. Community centers in St. Paul, farmers markets in Fresno, New Year celebrations that fill entire fairgrounds with silver jewelry, ball-tossing games, and food that smells like home. Non-profits translate for families in hospitals. Youth groups organize storytelling nights. Elders teach embroidery to kids who have never held a needle. Belonging, once a matter of being born into a clan, is now also something you can help build. One gathering, one program, one conversation at a time. Somewhere in America tonight, a Hmong grandmother is teaching her granddaughter how to make khao poob, a warm noodle soup made with coconut milk and herbs. Somewhere else, a father is helping his son with his algebra homework, in a mix of Hmong and English. Somewhere, a young Hmong American is starting a business, writing a novel, or filing for their first patent. Every one of these small moments is a thread. And, stitch by stitch, they are weaving a story that is both very old and brand new. The Hmong journey is not a story about a single moment. It is a story about mountains, migration, and change. About what a people carry with them across oceans, and what, generation by generation, they choose to add. It is a story about a language of threads, a family of clans, and a future being written every day in kitchens, classrooms, and community halls across America. It is a story of resilience. It is a story of learning. And most importantly, it is a story that is still being written. Thank you for listening.